Hello, folks. Welcome. My name is Morgan. I'll talking to you about getting to Burning Man and back from North Carolina. I'm looking at how to do this for around $1,500, or maybe a little less. All right, so $1,500 to get to and from Burning Man. That's across the country, the other side of the country, and back. This is definitely shoestring budget type territory here. You can potentially do it for cheaper, probably not. 1,500 is a pretty good bottom line for this sort of event. So let's look at what all the costs are that we have to deal with. Cost number one, of course, is the ticket. The ticket to the event is going to cost about $500. Might come in a little cheaper, might come in a little over, depending on how much taxes and fees end up racking up. In the past, I think 2020 was probably around $475 from what I've seen online. It'll probably be around $475 again in 2021, but with additional taxes and transaction fees, it ends up being $500. Could be a little bit more depending if you wait till the last minute to buy a ticket in the OMG sale. Yeah, so $500. That's where 1/3 of your $1,500 budget's going to go. Is just to your ticket. Next, we have your plane ticket to fly out there. I just checked, and it was about $360 as of December 29th to fly out for the 2021 event. And in August, round trip was around $360. After you add in additional fees and taxes, you're looking at around $400 for your plane ticket. So that's almost the next third of your cost of getting to Burning Man. And then lastly, you've got to get to the Playa and back from the Reno airport. And the Burner Express bus would cost you about $200 to do that. The Burner Express bus is one way to get to the Playa and back. Another way to get to the Playa and back is if you arrange a hookup with somebody and ride on the Playa with some other burners. That's a great way to go. It's just to go with the Burner Express bus, in my opinion, because it's anything that reduces the number of vehicles going on to the Playa. Burner Express bus is great. Carpooling with other people is great. Cuts down the overall vehicle emissions, but there's still going to be a little bit of a cost associated with that. Typically, it's customary to pay maybe around $50 to get on Playa and even off Playa with somebody else, just because there is quite a few miles between Reno and the Playa. There's some gas involved, so you're paying for gas, and there's also they're driving you onto the Playa and they're carrying your stuff. I mean, it's one of the few places where there is an actual transaction oftentimes involved in the process. So yes, if you are going to catch a ride onto the Playa, expect to still have maybe around $50 outlay to get on Playa and off Playa. There are other ways you can get on Playa, like taking Uber and shit like that. I highly discourage that, though. It's just, yeah, it's not, no. I'm not okay with it. Just, there's something, it feels to me a little bit abusive towards the Uber drivers. And there have actually been cases where, like an Uber driver, because the drive into the Playa and being on Gate Road, just trying to get in the Playa, especially if it's at the wrong time, is grueling. It's long, it's slow, it takes a long time. And those Uber drivers never get paid enough for their effort, for their work. And so it's just a bad deal overall. And if you're being really honest, and you do have some fucking Uber driver drive you and your friends, or just you onto the Playa, and they go through all that pain and that hardship for you, and you're trying to be honest about it, then you're still having to tip them, and it's just going to be, yeah, you might as well just take in the Burner Express bus. And saved yourself some money and saved the Uber driver some hassle. So don't take Uber. Burner Express bus, or get a hookup with another burner and still expect to drop a few dollars their way. So all told, that puts you at around $1,100 of your $1,500 budget. And maybe $1,000 if you're able to find a cheaper way to get on the Playa than taking the Burner Express bus. Alrighty, so these are the big purchases, the ones that generally have to be taken care of up front. You got $900 at the very least that has to be laid out in the early part of 2021 to buy your plane ticket because if you wait, it gets more expensive, and to buy your ticket because well, I mean, you kind of have to buy your ticket when it's on sale, right? We'll talk more about buying tickets and stuff later. So there's another expense. Burning Man is all about being radically self-supporting. It's one of the or radically self-reliant. That is one of the 10 principles. Your ticket here pays for a lot of stuff. What it does not pay for is food. Nobody is going to feed you except you. Nobody is going to water you except you. So if you're planning on being on Playa for a week, which a week is a good amount of time to plan on being on Playa, then you're looking at around $200 just in food and water for yourself for that week. Yes. So definitely plan this into your budget, and maybe plan it into your time as well around Reno, if you're able to get to a grocery store in Reno, or pack very, very, very well before you leave home and get on the airplane. So $200 food budget is what you're looking at. Food and water. You need water again, food and water for about 7 days, and you'll need about a gallon of water per day, especially if you plan on taking a shower at all while you're on Playa. I won't talk too much about food and what have you to bring on Playa. That's an estimate of how much to expect to spend there. And then we have the other big one is sundries supplies for being on Playa. There's quite a few things, some of which are optional, others of which are very not optional, that you will need to plan to spend money on. And if you're looking at a $1,500 budget and you've got $1,100 and just your ticket and getting physically there and back, $200 on food, that leaves $200 left over for sundries. This, you could spend more on it or you could spend less. It depends in part on how much of this stuff you already have. And it depends in part on how much you decide to spend on it if you do have to buy it for the Playa.